A Father's Love, Episode 36, The Values Filter. Dad was about to pull into the garage when he suddenly stopped. "Do you care for a drive around while we talk?" he asked. I considered my father's question as I looked up. Without waiting for my response, Dad turned the car around, and I burst into fits of uncontrollable laughter. A wise and wealthy man once told me that he had never withheld anything that his eyes had desired or denied his heart any pleasure. His heart took delight in all his labor, and this was the reward for all his toil. Yet when he surveyed all that his hands had done and what he had toiled to achieve, everything was meaningless, a chase after the wind, nothing was gained under the sun. "Who's that man?" I inquired. His name was Solomon. He lived many centuries ago. He was a king who was regarded as one of the most intelligent and prosperous people to have ever lived. You made it sound like he talked to you directly. Sure, he did. I have read his book, Dad said boldly. So he taught you how to discriminate? In the passage I quoted, he discussed how he gave in to everything his eyes desired, but that, in the end, it was all in vain. I countered, I don't think he actually accepted everything his eyes desired. Well, he had wealth and power in abundance. I believe he had the resources to obtain whatever his heart desired. That's one heck of a combination, I said casually, but then suddenly frowned and put my finger over my mouth. If he had the means to accept everything his eyes desired without hurting anyone, what's the big deal? He didn't go into debt or scam anyone. Dad smiled lightly and nodded. Hurting someone, going into debt, and scamming are filters you put into that process based on your values. I bit my lips as I processed what Dad was saying. I'm guessing these filters are different for everyone. Just like in life, different types of filters serve different purposes. If everyone already has a filter, what's the big deal then? Dad parked the car and looked at me. When you know there are filters through which you make decisions, it's important to pay attention to those filters to ensure you're applying the right ones. I could relate to what Dad just said because there was a time when I only considered the cost of candy when making decisions. Tell me about those days when we were visiting the dentist every week. Dad hit his forehead with his palm. So what did you do when the filter wasn't enough? Dr. Kadi showed me a picture of an adult with no teeth. If I didn't stop eating too much candy, she warned, my teeth would resemble those of that adult. She did that? Dad laughed hysterically. That picture pretty much became a big filter in my head. That is the ideal illustration. Even though you could afford candy, you understood the dangers of accepting candy every time. In essence, everything that looks desirable is not always conducive. Need I say more?